And I really do hope that everyone is having a blessed day today. Sincerely. Well, today I am doing a little something, little bit of something differently on my channel today. And I'm going to tell you why. Last week, excuse me, today is June 26, 2020. It's Friday. Last week, I had the most, I had the displeasure of witnessing such division amongst human beings that I have never seen before since the late 60s. I'm originally from Gary, Indiana. Now, like I said, what I witnessed was just beyond me. And I want to tell you why I want to talk about this, or I will talk about this, and what stake I have in it. As you can see by my background, I am a United States Marine Corps veteran. And I can tell you that anyone that knows me, that served with me, that I was a gung-ho Marine, but I was fair. And that the love that I have for the military, and particularly the United States Marine Corps, but the military. I'm a veteran, so therefore I'm a part of different veteran organizations and services. So therefore, I do have a hand in this. My background is I was a criminal justice professor, in which I've taught at a community college here in Jacksonville, North Carolina, but I've also taught at 2 major universities. And I keep up with what's going on in whatever community I reside in, and just worldwide. Now I want to tell you what I witnessed was really nothing new, but it was just something I hadn't seen before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull apart President Trump's speech at the Tulsa, Oklahoma rally. I'm going to pull apart that speech with the facts, and nothing but the facts. When I say President Trump or the president, then you know this is what has come out of his mouth, not mine. Please stay with me. Please bear with me. And if you riding in your car, if you can't watch the video, if you can't look at the video, please just listen to it as you're in your car, as you're sitting at your desk, as you're at home. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with any and everyone that you know. Now, last week, as I said, President Trump held his rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, not the baby boomers, I'm sorry, the TikTok and K-pop twittered those tickets and didn't attend. He was expecting a large crowd, millions, right? At least a million. 6,200 people showed up. So, let me tell you what some of the parts in his speech, let me address some of the parts in his speech, and I'm going to give you the facts. My facts, I will tell you about them towards the end of the video, and you can go and see them. You can fact it yourself. Okay. One of the things that President Trump said, he talked about VA choice. VA choice, his words. They tried to pass it. They've been trying to pass it for 50 years. We get it done. A veteran that has to wait in line a week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. What happens? You go outside, you get fixed up. You go to a private doctor, you get fixed up, and we'll pay the bill. We take care of the bill for you. Immediate action is taken. It's never been before, and our approval rating at the VA is 91%. That's how good it is. Never seen anywhere near that number. He gave a shout out, thanks to, where's my senator? Where's my senator? Thanks to Senator Inhofe. Thanks to Senator Jim Inhofe. Please, you all, remember all of these. Research what's going on in your community and with the politicians, with Congress, with your state representatives. Know what's going on. You have to know what's going on in order to make a change for the better. Thanks to my Senator Jim Inhofe, I-N-H-O-F-E. That's Inhofe, you all. He said, you better vote for him. We'll get to him. He's running. He's great. Vote for him. And also, my Senator James Langford. James Langford, where are you? So thanks to them, he said that they wrote that bill. VA choice is because of them. Fact. VA choice. VA choice is called the Mission Act. It was changed. The Mission Act bill is a $55 billion bill that the Senate voted, conference report, July 31st, 2014. President Barack Obama signed the bill into law August 7th, 2014. Vote 91-3. In roll call vote 254. 91% of veterans, this is also included in my facts, 91% of veterans who use VA will recommend to others. Now, also, along with that Mission Act statement, Tester wrote the Mission Act with Republican Chairman John Isako. I hope I'm not butchering your name, sir. Isako, on June 6, 2018. Trump signed that, but what he was signing was the name change. It had changed from VA Choice to Mission Act. Now, I will tell you, again, fact, VA Choice. Us veterans, if you're in VA Choice, that what VA Choice is that a veteran goes to the VA for a particular illness or whatever. Say that that veteran cannot be seen for 30 days by a VA doctor. Then they are given the choice to go out to see a private doctor. That's it. It's not a 1, 2, 3 weeks. They got to wait in line. And who will be waiting in line? But that is VA Choice, which is now the Mission Act bill, a $55 billion bill that was signed back by President Barack Hussein Obama. Another thing, President Trump said at the rally, and everyone was getting fired up. He said, we have two U.S. Supreme Court justices. We could get a few more. Now, all this information is on his speech, in his speech. We have 2 justices. Yeah, we need to get more. Only have 2. Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. That's all we have. Facts. America. We have 9 U.S. Supreme Court justices. It's what I used to teach my students, my college university students, even in criminal justice 101, basic criminal justice, okay? You have justices for each state, but you also have, there's always going to be 9 U.S. Supreme Court justices. And since school is out, I am not trying to, challenge the adults' intelligence. My babies, meaning God's children, the kids are out of school. Please, if you like, get a pencil and pen. There are 9 Supreme Court justices. There's 1 Chief Supreme Court Justice. The rest are associate. Okay? Associate justices. The 9 Supreme Court justices. You have Chief John G. Roberts. He is the chief. You have Clarence Thomas. Do you remember him? The scandal, Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas scandal. You also have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Two justices. And no disrespect, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, if you want to go by association, she has features, to me she reminds me of Rosa Parks because of the hairstyle, the bun, and the glasses. But Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been through a lot medically, health-wise, on the bench. Serving on that role. Stephen G. Breyer. And the way that I would help my students to remember his name is to let them know that it's with a PH, not a V. And it's like Breyer's ice cream, but drop the S. Brett M. Kavanaugh with a K. Those are your 9 U.S. Supreme Court justices. And for the United States of America, or Republican Party, or whoever, Mr. President, there are 9 U.S. Supreme Court justices, and those are the ones. Excuse me for just a moment. Now, another thing, I'm not going to say the name of this virus because I am not monetized yet, and I don't want that to interfere with me getting monetized, because right now I only have, I'm not going to say I only have, but I have not reached the amount of subscribers and viewers together that I need to be monetized. But this is really not so much about monetize this video. I want to let you know that. But I just wanted to let you know as well that I'm not going to say the pandemic name because I don't want to get a strike. So, Trump. President Trump says, oh, he gives it all kinds of names. He says he's not aware of what the 19 stands for. But everyone else knows that the 19 stands for the year of the virus. He also stated that there's a lot of names for the virus. No, there's only one. And you all know what it is. Roadkill 19. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Now, President Trump says we tested 25 million people to... No, let me say what his words were. We tested 25 million people, 20 million more than everyone else. And he said, my good friend in New Jersey. Then the crowd started, getting restless because they didn't know what he was going to say. We tested, my good friend in New Jersey, the governor of New Jersey, he called me and he said how surprised he was that of all the thousands of people that had died, that there was only one child, one 10-year-old child. Isn't one too many? And he made a little reference to, oh, yeah, a child, 10-year-old child with the sniffles, he'll recover, he'll be okay. Oh, can I have your immune system? I want your immune system. Those are the things that President Trump said. Also, along with the virus, what he said was, I told my people to slow the test down. Slow it down. So, in other words, the virus disappears if you don't test anyone. So to piggyback off of that, if I stop taking my heart medication, I'm not going to have congestive heart failure anymore. If I get rid of my cardiologist, I'm not going to have congestive heart failure anymore. So I'm going to fire my cardiologist and I'm going to stop taking my medication. Do you see you see where I'm going with this? Facts. COVID-19 tests in the U.S. as of April 28th of 2020, there have been 5.6 million people have been tested. 5.6 million people have been tested. 80% are usually mild or asymptomatic, while 15% have severe infection, and then you have 5% that needs oxygen or the ventilator, according to my research. And I'll tell you, I am the research queen, and I'm like Investigator Clouseau. Yes. Now, Trump went on to say, we built the military. We spent $2 trillion to completely rebuild our military, whether equipment for submarines, missiles, rockets, jet fighters, bombers, all built in the U.S. of A. And the crowd roars. And the crowd roars. Facts. Flawed beautifully. Facts. The $2.5 trillion million dollars number that he's coming up with is from the total defense budget for the last 4 fiscal years. I'll say it again. I will say it again. The $2.5 trillion number comes from the total defense budget for the last 4 fiscal years. Most weapons and infrastructure are the same as they were before Trump took office. Because think about it, Americans, to my Americans, because I know you all gonna go and vote. Think about it. If he's been here in office 3.5 years. If his administration rebuilt the entire military think about it. What do they have to rebuild? And how long would it have taken them? And why haven't we heard about it sooner? You know, they have on the internet, and people, they've called him a hyperbole. They refer to him as a hyperbole. Hyperbole. Yes, I had to look it up myself. They refer to him as a hyperbole. Well, let me tell you something. A hyperbole is a person who exaggerates statements or claims that's not meant to be taken literally. That's what a hyperbole is. Hyperbole. That's what a hyperbole is. Let's go on to the next thing that Trump said. Trump said, let's open the schools, please. I want them open by the fall, or in the fall. Open. That's what he said. And then along with that, he said he is responsible for cutting the largest tax cuts in the history of our country. Tell me about it. Oh yes, he said, tell me about it. Facts. Flawed beautifully. Facts. Let's say about the truth about tax cuts. They were known as the Reagan tax cuts. And the Reagan tax cuts refers to the changes to the U.S. federal tax code passed during Ronald Reagan's administration. And those two major cuts was the Economic Recovery Tax Act of 1981 and the Tax Reform Act of 1986. So, Ronald Reagan was known as the one that had the largest tax cuts in the U.S. history. Just saying. Let me tell you facts what Trump's tax cut did. The major elements of the changes in President Trump's tax cuts included reducing tax rates for businesses and individuals, increasing the standard reduction and family tax credits, eliminating personal exemptions and making it beneficial to itemize deductions for state and local income taxes and property taxes. The major elements of Trump's tax cuts: The major elements of the changes including reducing tax rates for businesses and individuals, increasing the standard reduction in family tax credit, eliminating personal exemptions, and making it less beneficial to itemize deductions for state and local income taxes and property taxes. Think about that. When you go to get your income tax, you know you I don't have dependents anymore, but that's one of the only times I wish I did. Because you depend on those tax exemptions, right? Think about if you're starting a business, how that affects you. Excuse me. Trump goes on to say that he will have 500 federal judges by the time, I imagine that he was trying to say by the time he is in office again. But, you know, during that speech, during his speech, his rally speech of 6,200 people, when he touched about the military and when he touched on the something else, one more thing that he touched on that really, really, it got to my soul. It got to my soul. And he said it with such passion. President Trump said the unhinged left-wing mob, he's talking about the Democratic Party, because throughout his speech he referred to them as a mob. He referred to them as unhinged. He referred to them constantly in a negative and derogatory manner. And what he said was his words. President Trump said at his rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in front of 6,200 people, the unhinged left-wing mob is trying to vandalize our history, trying to desecrate our monuments, our beautiful monuments, tear down our statues, and punish, cancel, and persecute anyone who does not conform to the demands for absolute and total control. We're not conforming. That's why we're here, actually. All of those were his words. You know, it's not enough that President Trump, what he did to have this rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In case you didn't know, and I'm not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but on the very day, he tried to do it on the very day that marks the end of slavery. But let me tell you, Tulsa, Oklahoma is where hundreds of African Americans were killed by a white mob in this section of Tulsa called Black Wall Street. Hundreds of African Americans, hundreds of black people, okay? Let's keep it like it's supposed to be. You heard of the Trail of Tears? But his beautiful monuments. I just want to say, on a personal note, that a superior man blames himself, but an inferior man blames others. I urge you all to get out there and vote. Without vote, there's no change. Without, even protesting, there is no change. It is about Black Lives Matter. For me, as for me, in my heart, I've always been my own person. And sometimes you may be in a situation to where you may not be popular, but you're honest. You have to, you may have had to take up for someone, someone just, maybe perhaps not as strong as you, to take up for themselves. But know that for me and my heart, all Black Lives Matter. And I say this because I had a conversation not so long ago when the Black Lives Matter, and they wanted to know why people didn't think that their life mattered because they were gay. I'm not digressing, but I'm just going to say, for me, all Black Lives Matter. Lesbian, straight, queer, bi. It is not for me to judge anyone, because I look at it on the other foot. What if my parents or parent was gay? Am I to turn my back on them and not love them? They're black, but they don't matter because they're gay. They're in a separate thing. But Black Lives Matter. I'm not saying all lives matter, you all. I'm saying Black Lives Matter regardless of your sexual orientation. You matter to me, is what I'm saying. And I urge each and every one of you all, whether you're from that place that you live or just residing there, to take a look at county commissioners, look at your General Assembly, know who's in your House of Representatives, what type of moves they're making, Senate, Congress. But I urge you all to vote. To vote. Because we are all God's children under one umbrella. Don't let anyone spew hate in your heart because someone looks different than you. Now, the United States Marine Corps did not sponsor this video. No one sponsored this video. But I'm a straight up advocate for others, for the less fortunate. And I really believe in justice. But this right here, what I've shared with you all, this is a continuation from what I just shared with you all. To my beautiful people, I'm so glad to see you again. I just want to tell you, there's so many different types of liars. You have the white liars, the careless liars, the occupational liars, the compulsive liars. I'm very, very familiar with the compulsive liar, as well as the sociopathical liars, One of them that just has the truth or tells half the truth. That's what a white liar does. Then you have one who lies all the time and don't particularly care about hiding the truth. Then you also have the occupational liar. Or that other liar, that's the careless liar. But then you have that occupational liar, the one that seldom lies. Occupational. Like an occupational sport, right? Then we go into the compulsive liars. Like I said, I'm very, very familiar with that one. They're also called the pathological or habitual liars. They may not be manipulative or anything, but it takes a toll on relationships. That's what compulsive liars are. But for me, I've experienced manipulative ones. And then you have some with intentions to manipulate or to get what they want and just no concern for others. And that's the sociopathic liar. I want to also say from the last video, I want to sit and personally thank Governor Roy Cooper of North Carolina. Because even in the midst of people protesting against you, even in the midst of people suing you, attempting to sue you, you stood your ground. And I watch your briefs, and I would tell you, thank you, sir. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart because I have congestive heart failure. And I thank you for saying no to having a national convention here in North Carolina. I thank you for caring about the people of North Carolina. And I have to tell you, I did vote for you. And along with that, I have to let you all know, my beautiful people, I have to let you all know that this is the first time that I have voted for someone other than on a presidential scale, that I have voted for someone that I've actually seen his love for his state, his love for his people, his community. Because Governor Roy Cooper, sir, personally, you have shown me that, and I thank you. Even in the midst, especially the gyms protesting and trying to sue because they want to open. They had a protest, I can't remember where it was, but it was at I forgot what state it was in, but they actually had a protest of people who own gyms, and they were outside doing exercises. They were out there protesting now, but they're doing exercises, they're doing calisthenics, they're doing jumping jacks, they're doing push-ups and all that, but they're saying that they want their gyms open because people cannot do or be or live without their gyms. I say to the people who don't want to open, like I said in my videos before, I pay attention to the businesses. You want to put my life in jeopardy? Why should I come and promote your business? Why should I be a part of your business? Thank you, Governor Roy Cooper, because what I want to say to that is first thing I want to say is, no, it's so important. That's why it's so important to know your history. It's so important to know your history, okay? And to fact check, and don't always believe what comes out of someone's mouth. Just because somebody is in a position of power, it doesn't mean that the information or how they are leading you is correct. You have to see it with your own eyes or hear it with your own ears, you see. Because I fully believe if you don't see it with your own eyes or hear it with your own ears, that you should not invent it with your small mind and share it with your big mouth. And one last thing I want to leave you with. For people, for the industries that want to open up, for the bars. For the bars. People say that people need to come out and drink. For the bars and salons and all that, you know. I mean, gyms. That's having a hard time. Perhaps it's time to reinvent yourself. Perhaps change another profession. And, but better still, I'll leave you with this. To the businesses that are saying, I can't pay my bills because I'm closed. This is my constitutional right to be open. Okay, I hear you. I can dig it. However, I flawed beautifully. I know a place that does hair and nails better than your nail shop. As a matter of fact, to perfection. And your appearance, oh, your appearance, it will provide you with all that attention you so crave. It's called the funeral home. So, do you choose to be sitting or laying? You all have a blessed day. Thank you so very much for watching. And please remember to vote. Vote the right way. If you've never voted before in your life, please vote in November. You all have a blessed day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification. Ding, 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 ding. Have a blessed day.